This is Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. The firestorm over the comments that were made by Udhyanidhi Stalin on the Sanatan Dharma are only snowballing with each passing day. Not only is the BJP doubling down after the Prime Minister's clear directive yesterday, the DMK too is upping the ante because both Udhyanidhi Stalin and his father, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, today came out, not only defended and justified their comments, even went on to slam the BJP. We then had another DMK leader come out and make a provocative statement. He too then said that what Udhyanidhi Stalin said about dengue and malaria and equating that to Sanatan Dharma, that was the softest comparison ever made. But let's take a look at what exactly Udhyanidhi Stalin said today, right after the storm that brewed over his comments over the last few days and the Prime Minister's directive yesterday. Now, this is a letter that Udhyanidhi Stalin put on his social media, writing to his party workers, going on to justify why he made the comments he did and how the party needs to defend it. Udhyanidhi Stalin said that the BJP is using the Sanatan Dharma narrative to divert attention. It's nothing more than that, is what he told his party workers. He said the Prime Minister is diverting attention from the Manipur violence, which is why they're now dragging this to an issue that should be a non-issue. The BJP is twisting my speech as a call for genocide. I never said that, is what he's been saying all along. He even said that I'm ready for any legal action because my words are being misinterpreted. Udhyanidhi Stalin then went on to say that the Home Minister and BJP Chief Ministers have demanded action based on lies. This is fakery, this is misinformation, and nothing more than that is the DMK stand. Let's take a look at what the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu said. M.K. Stalin, the father of Udhayanidhi, wrote a letter to the Prime Minister right after a directive came to the fore from the Prime Minister in a closed-door meeting yesterday to his Council of Ministers. Look at what M.K. Stalin has to say to the Prime Minister. He says that the BJP is not concerned about discriminatory practices at all as far as religion is concerned. All of this is a diversionary tactic. They've never used the word genocide in any language. Look at what Udhyanidhi Stalin said was a clear message that M.K. Stalin sent out through this letter. He said that the Prime Minister was spreading lies about Udhayanidhi. That's what the narrative has been as far as the BJP is concerned. M.K. Stalin then went on to say that what Sanatan Dharma denied women, DMK has given them those rights, so the BJP must not lecture us about rights and discrimination. We uplift the backward classes, the women and the poor. We do so in practice, unlike the BJP that only preaches, was the argument that the DMK is trying to make. M.K. Stalin then going on to say that we operate under the motto of one clan, one God. This is not about religion. This is all to do about discrimination, is what M.K. Stalin and many others within the DMK are coming out to say. He also then said that it's a BJP's troll army that is spreading lies. Remember, they said this about Amit Malviya as well. An FIR has been filed against Amit Malviya in Tamil Nadu and several others as far as the genocide comment is concerned of Udhyanidhi Stalin. M.K. Stalin then went on to say that all of this is because the opposition is united. The India alliance is rattling the BJP and the Prime Minister, which is why we've seen these kind of comments that have come to the fore from the BJP and a directive from the Prime Minister for the BJP to double down. He then went on to say that the BJP and the Prime Minister himself is desperate to create a divide within allies of the opposition, which is why they're trying to rake up these comments and these controversies when there are none. It's a political gimmick of the BJP and the Prime Minister, is what M.K. Stalin had to say in his letter. That, unfortunately, though, hasn't laid the debate to rest because political reactions are coming in thick and fast. That storm is only brewing and brewing with much more gravity. Listen in to those comments that have come in.
பெண்மையாகத்தான் சொன்னார் மலேரியா போல டெங்கு போல ஒழிக்க வேண்டும் என்று. மலேரியாவுக்கும் டெங்குக்கும் சோசியல் ஸ்டிக்மா இல்ல. அது ஒரு அருவருப்பா சமூகம் பார்க்காது. அருவருவாக பார்க்குற ஒரு சனாதனத்தை சொல்லணும்னா முறைப்படி ஒரு காலத்தில் தொழுநோய் இருந்தது. இப்ப HIV இருந்தது. எங்களை பொறுத்தவரை HIV தொழுநோயை போல HIV போல சமூக அவலம் நிறைந்த ஒரு நோயாகத்தான் நம்ம பார்க்கணும். ஒன்று. இன்னொன்னு சனாதர்மத்தை கடைபிடிங்கன்னு பிரதமர் சொல்றாரு. அவர் உள்ளபடியே கடைபிடிச்சிருந்தா இத்தனை வெளிநாட்டுக்கு போயிடக்கூடாது. ஏன்னா ஒரு நல்ல இந்து வெளிநாடு கடல் கடந்து போகக்கூடாது. உனக்கு ஊர் சுத்துறதே வேலை. சனாதர்மத்தை மீறி ஊர் சுத்துற ஒரு ஆளு सनातनத்தை காப்பாத்துன்னு சொல்றது எவ்வளவு பெரிய அயோக்கியத்தனம்.
हिंदू चिंतन के खिलाफ इस तरह की शर्मनाक विभत्स टिप्पणी की जाएगी, ये मुझे पहला सवाल आपसे पूछना है.
You know, a detailed letter attacking the BJP leaders, including senior leaders like Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, all of them, who in fact have twisted Udhayanidhi's statement, is what the DMK maintains. A detailed response now from CM, who's backing Udhayanidhi and saying that you don't ever hurt any religion and that was not the intention, and that's being twisted by the BJP.
That is right. See, what I am asking every person who is supporting Sanatana, what is the meaning of Sanatana? That is what I want. Because we are Tamils, for the more than 2000 years ago, what Thiruvallur had said was, all men are born equal. We follow that principle, we are all equal. There is no difference among ourselves by birth. But Sanatana means, I am asking the meaning of the word, the concept Sanatana. Nobody is willing to come forward and say that. What we understand is Sanatana means Manu Dharma, dividing people into classes. We are opposed to that because it is not our practice. I have the right to follow any religion. That is what Constitution says. Article 25 is in the fundamental rights where the government has no business to interfere. Fundamental right is people's right. This government is elected by the people. People are the masters of the government. They cannot interfere with the Article 25. They have no right.
आज सनातन पर प्रहार हो रहा है। जगतानंद सिंह तलवार लेकर के निकले सनातन विरोधियों को खत्म करने के लिए। सनातन की सहिष्णुता ही सनातन का सबसे बड़ा पूंजी है और सनातन की परीक्षा लोग ले रहे हैं और सनातन की परीक्षा ना लें।
Breaking news now coming in. The BJP is reacting to the kind of comments that have come to the fore from Udhayanidhi Stalin and from MK Stalin. Amit Malviya of the BJP now taking to Twitter, putting out this tweet that I have with me. This despite the FIR that has been filed against Amit Malviya and some others in the BJP for allegedly spreading fake news. But look at this tweet that Amit Malviya has just put out. He goes on to say that you can't defend the indefensible. Udhayanidhi Stalin asked for Sanatan Dharma to be eradicated. 80% of the population of Bharat follows Sanatan Dharma. How else can one interpret what he said is what Amit Malviya goes on to say. Then drawing a comparison between Hitler and what Udhayanidhi Stalin has said. Now this is a comparison that he's made in the past as well. A comparison that is now costing, that has now cost him that FIR that he faces. But yet Amit Malviya then going on to put out those very same facts. Arun Dhanta now going on to join us on this broadcast. Arun, now we've seen the kind of reactions that have come to the fore from the BJP, especially from top leaders, union ministers, after what the Prime Minister told them yesterday. Amit Malviya too not backing down despite there being an FIR against him now.
Well, see, now what is happening that we are seeing that there is a softened stand from both DMK and, of course, other opposition parties. Congress party has just said that they don't believe in Udhayanidhi Stalin's statement. For them, every religion or everybody has a certain respect. So Congress party actually distanced itself from the Udhayanidhi Stalin's statement. And in fact, if you see, post the statement of Stalin, there were no clear, statements or messaging from the opposition parties were coming to fore. Now, when they have realized that the damage is increasing, therefore they are coming out with this clarification. In fact, the senior Stalin had also said that Udhayanidhi's statement was taken into wrong context. He didn't mean that. Now, in fact, Amit Malviya has now spoken on that line where he's saying that you cannot defend indefensible. What Udhayanidhi Stalin has said, it is something where he is insulting 80% of the population of the country, and in fact he equating this statement of Udhayanidhi Stalin with Hitler, what he did with Jews. So BJP is not leaving any opportunity wherever they are getting the opportunity to actually really take on to the opposition alliance, and in fact saying that this was the agenda of the India Alliance meeting which happened in Mumbai.
Right, so Both the DMK and the BJP seem to only be upping the ante. The controversy refuses to die down. Arun, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. The Congress, though, has now come out and said that they do not agree with what Udhyanidhi Stalin is saying. They have distanced themselves as the official line of the Congress party, even though we had certain Congress leaders come out and back Udhyanidhi Stalin in the recent past. But listen in to some of those reactions that are now coming in.
This is utterly disgusting. एकदम शर्मनाक है. लगता है कुछ लोग जिनको HIV की बीमारी के बारे में कुछ जानकारी है और कुछ मच्छर और डेंगू मच्छर के बारे भी हो सकती है, वो लगता है कुछ ऐसे व्यक्ति हैं जो HIV की बीमारी के लिए उन्होंने डेंगू के मेडिसिन ले ली है और ये जो उनका ब्रेन डैमेज हुआ है ये परमानेंट हुआ है. और जिन्होंने ऐसी बातें की है सनातन धर्म के बारे, भारतीय संस्कृति सभ्यता के बारे, उनको शर्म आनी चाहिए. और ऐसे लोग आज ये इंडी अलायंस है, आई फुल स्टॉप, एन फुल स्टॉप, डी फुल स्टॉप, आई फुल स्टॉप, ए. द कंट्री एंड ऑल इंडियंस आर डिस्गस्टेड बाय दिस काइंड ऑफ स्टेटमेंट और मुझे लगता है इनको जनता के सामने जवाब देना पड़ेगा.
मजहब के एतबार से जो उनकी पॉलिसी है या जो उनका धर्म है तो वो जाने, उसमें हम कोई दखल ना मैं देता हूं ना दूंगा. इसलिए कि ये मसला या सियासत लड़ाई जा रही है, धर्म और गैर धर्म हो रहा है जगह. भाई क्यों ये धर्मों की बात इस की जा रही है, क्यों ऐसे जिक्र छेड़े जा रहे हैं जो आपस में जिससे के झगड़ा पैदा हो रहा है, एक दूसरे को बुरा कह रहे हो. हम मुसलमान हैं, हम आपस में जो हमारा मजहब है जो है, हम तो उसमें हमें किसी मुसलमान को मजहबी मामले में कोई दखल देने का हक हासिल नहीं है.
We have Union Minister Anurag Thakur with us. Anurag ji, we have seen what Udhayanidhi Stalin has said. Now A. Raja has come to fore. He is saying that Udhayanidhi Stalin was softer when he made those comments on Sanatan. He in fact compared it to HIV or leprosy kind of diseases.
No, you could see that how low they could stoop. They can go to any level to abuse Hindus and the Sanatan Dharma. This is part of their politics. I think in the Mumbai meeting they might have internally agreed that one after another will abuse and try to consolidate their vote bank and show that how anti-Hindu they are. This is part of their strategy. But my question to Mr. Rahul Gandhi is, why he is silent? What stops him to make a statement and come clean on this? Whether he is with these leaders who have made anti-Hindu, anti-Sanatan Dharma statements and who have stooped so low. This is the disgrace to the Indian politics, the kind of statements they have made. And let me say one more thing. When Mr. Rahul Gandhi says, Constitution we have to save. What is this? Do you think this is as per Constitution? Does the Constitution allow this? Do you think the law of the land allows this? Don't you think this is the hate speech? Don't you think the action must be taken on this? Why Rahul Gandhi is silent and why Congress leaders are mum on this?
You mentioned Sanatan Dharma, which essentially itself practices discrimination. That is why your movement is founded. Sir, I would like to take back you to two eminent leaders who were born out of your movements. One is the great leader from the scheduled caste community, Mr. MC Raja. Do you know, sir, why did he quit Justice Party in 1923? A great Dalit leader, MC Raja, he quit Justice Party in 1923 because he said, the very founding principle of Justice Party is not in tune with what they practice.
Doesn't the same thing apply to Udhayanidhi and DMK government? When there is spiraling of basic prices, commodities, deteriorating law and order, doesn't the same thing apply for DMK government and Udhayanidhi? Rather than addressing the day-to-day mundane issues of people, talking about the beliefs of the majority and mocking it on an open forum, clearly shows that is what they do, diverting the attention of the Tamil Nadu people. Now he boasts around saying that, see, the entire nation is talking about me. Having faced the backlash today, he is in a damage control exercise. Coming to his rescue is this accused Raja, A Raja, who is a dynast slave, who comes and says that Sanatan has to be compared with HIV and leprosy. He wants to take away the attention from Udhyanidhi because they know that it has not gone well with the people of this country.
हम भी सनातन धर्म को मानते हैं और किसी को भी किसी भी धर्म के बारे बोलने से बचना चाहिए। हम भी सनातन धर्म को मानते हैं और किसी को भी किसी भी धर्म के बारे बोलने से बचना चाहिए।
इंडिया गठबंधन जिस तरीके से सनातन धर्म पर टीका टिप्पणी कर रही है, जिस तरीके से अनुचित और जितनी भी हम निंदा करें वो कम होगा। उनका कहना है कि सनातन धर्म का विनाश होना चाहिए, सनातन धर्म पूर्ण रूप से नष्ट हो जाना चाहिए। यही है इंडिया गठबंधन का असली चेहरा, जो मध्य प्रदेश की जनता और देश की जनता के समक्ष मैं रखना चाहता हूं। देश को विनाश के पथ पे ले जाने के लिए, सनातन धर्म को नष्ट करने के लिए, भ्रष्टाचार व्यापक करने के लिए, तुष्टीकरण व्यापक करने के लिए, यही इनका असली चेहरा है।
Shifting focus from that political controversy to news coming in from our neighborhood from Pakistan. Now we're given to understand that Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan has launched a large-scale military offensive. This is coming to the fore from the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. We're given to understand that 75 Pakistani soldiers are now in the custody of the TTP. 10 have been killed is what they're claiming. According to the source, the information that we are gathering, Pakistani media has been banned from broadcasting these attacks on the army. It is, of course, an embarrassment that is coming to the fore as far as the TTP's onslaught is concerned. Abhishek, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Abhishek, what exactly has transpired? What have you gathered from your sources?
So it says that Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which has orchestrated several attacks in the recent past on Pakistani military and Pakistani forces, they have attacked one of the police force station, center in Chitral, that is a district in northern sector, and there they have been able to apparently seize and capture about 40 Pakistani soldiers. They are in captivity of these people, and there have been fierce fighting going on, in which apparently 16 of the soldiers have, or 16 of the terrorists have also died. That has been claimed by the Pakistani government side, that the 16 terrorists had been died and 4 had been martyred. So this has been the Pakistani government version, but also the sources are telling us that a large number of Pakistani troops are still in the captivity of TTP, militants in that region.
Right, we're also learning, Abhishek, that the Pakistani media has been barred from broadcasting any of this. This comes at a time when the Pakistani military is trying to play a major role as far as the economic crisis and lifting the country out of that is concerned. So this certainly comes as a big embarrassment for them if they can't even ensure that their own men are safe in the country.
You see, last evening we saw several of Pakistani journalists acknowledging that this incident had happened. Even the former Pakistan Prime Minister Shah Sharif also said that there had been an attack on the Pakistani forces, or in the operation certain militants were killed. But the exact detail of the operation is still not very much out. But our sources are very clear that first the attack had happened, and after the 8 convoy was also attacked, and about 75 army personnel of Pakistan have been captured by TTP. This could be one of the largest after that Bannu garrison attack in Pakistan, where where the TTP terrorists who were kept as prisoners, they took over the prison, and they had captured and kept all the military officials stationed at the Bannu garrison as a hostage for a very long time. And after the fierce battle, only the army of Pakistan could be able to retrieve them or get them free. So that had been the case just a few months ago, and this is yet another case at a time when Pakistan is already dealing with a lot of political crisis, economic uncertainties, and political uncertainty as well. And on top of it, now we have a very, concerning internal security issue in Pakistan, with several of soldiers still under the captivity of an, terrorist outfit organization, that is TTP.
Right, now the TTP has been a headache for the Pakistani army, especially as far as this province is concerned, for a very long time now. It looks like they're only doubling down, given the kind of crisis that the country faces. The civilians, of course, are in trouble. There is a caretaker government that is in place at the moment. So the TTP perhaps believes that this is the right opportunity for them to strike.
In fact, we know that it's been almost 8 months ever since that fallout of ceasefire between TTP and Pakistan military, and we have only seen internal security situation getting worse by day, and we have seen so many attacks happening on the army cantonment areas, army garrison. We have seen attacks happening on Pakistan forces, and in most of the cases, TTP has taken responsibility for them. TTP has been a kind of faction that has broken away from the Taliban that is ruling Afghanistan as a de facto ruler right now. But this TTP that is part of Taliban of Pakistan or Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan is becoming fiercer by day, and they have increased their attack on the military installments, and they have been wanting the forces or the army officials to go away, especially from those areas that is closer to Afghanistan and places where their dominance has been very high in the recent past.
Right, Abhishek, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. Let's now get you a quick roundup of all that's made news otherwise, beginning with the Prime Minister, who was on a whirlwind trip of Jakarta. He had 2 different summits to attend there. Prime Minister met with Indonesian President Joko Widodo ahead of the ASEAN Summit that concluded this morning. The Prime Minister later thanked the Indonesian President, the government and the people of the country for their warm welcome. Addressing the ASEAN Summit, the Prime Minister spoke of an open and free Indo-Pacific region. He spoke about ties with Indonesia having entered its 4th decade. He also stated that the 21st century belongs to India and to Asia.
हमारी हिस्ट्री और ज्योग्राफी भारत और आसियान को जोड़ते हैं, साथ ही साझा वैल्यूज, क्षेत्रीय एकता, शांति, समृद्धि और मल्टीपोलर वर्ल्ड में साझा विश्वास भी हमें आपस में जोड़ता है। आसियान भारत की एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसी का केंद्रीय स्तंभ है।
After attending the ASEAN Summit and the East Asia Summit, Prime Minister Modi departed Jakarta. He is set to land in India just a short while from now. He will be taking part in 3 bilaterals tomorrow ahead of the G20 Summit, including one with the United States President Joe Biden. With that, it's time for a quick break here on this edition of Nation at 5, but there's lots lined up for you on the other side. A quick glance, a complete 360-degree view of how India is preparing for the G20 Summit. Stay tuned for that.
The mega on the big screen. In fact, जावेद जी, आपकी लेगेसी मैं जानता हूं, आप कितने बड़े शाहरुख खान के फैन हैं ये भी मैं जानता हूं। क्या है आज का प्रोग्राम पूरा आपका?
देखिए, जवान मूवी को लेके जो क्रेज बना है, मतलब अब तो किसी ने बॉयकॉट भी नहीं किया। अब शाहरुख खान की जो असली पावर है बिना बॉयकॉट गैंग के, मतलब पूरी दुनिया में इस टाइम जवान को लेके क्रेज है। मतलब 2 ही चीजों की बात हो रही है, तो G20 की बात हो रही है, जवान मूवी की बात हो रही है, तो इससे बड़ी बात शाहरुख के फैंस के लिए हो नहीं सकती। और जो इसकी एडवांस बुकिंग का जो माहौल बना, उसने भी रिकॉर्ड सारे तोड़ दिए हैं। मतलब अभी से लोग उम्मीद लगा रहे हैं कि पहले दिन का बिजनेस जो है वो 60 करोड़ का होगा, 70 करोड़ का होगा। मतलब 50 क्रॉस लोग अब बातें कर रहे हैं। जब हम पठान की बात कर रहे थे, हम ये बोलते थे कि मतलब 50 करोड़ का बिजनेस तो करेगी, लेकिन आज वक्त चेंज हो चुका है। आज लोग कह रहे हैं कि 70 करोड़ कमाएगी, एक दिन में 80 करोड़ कमाएगी, लेकिन रिकॉर्ड ऑलरेडी बन चुका है।
क्या लगता है 100 करोड़ 1 या 2 दिन में पार?
सर, उम्मीद तो एक आज ही पार कर दें, मतलब और बहुत बड़ा सेलिब्रेशन करेंगे, क्योंकि एक रिकॉर्ड होगा। एक दिन में 100 करोड़ आज तक किसी ने कमाया नहीं हो, तो अगली कोई चैलेंज भी होगा किसी मूवी के लिए, तो उसको बहुत टाइम जाएगा।
अच्छा, G20 आप जैसे फैंस के लिए बड़ा चैलेंज रह रहा है, आप लोग उतना सेलिब्रेट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, क्या किसी तरह की कमी आई है आपके जोश में इसको लेकर?
नहीं, जोश में कमी नहीं है, लेकिन जो अरेंजमेंट है, जो सिस्टम है, जैसे हम इस बार बैंड बाजा कुछ नहीं कर पाए, या हम म्यूजिकल प्रोग्राम करते थे वो सब नहीं कर पाए, क्योंकि हमें अपना देश की सेफ्टी को भी देखना है। जो एक G20 को लेकर जो माहौल बना हुआ है, हम चाहते नहीं है कि हमसे कोई उल्लंघन हो उस चीज को लेकर।
मेरे को पता नहीं क्यों याद आ रहा है कि आप वही हैं जिन्होंने पठान वाला लुक लिया था। अब आप जवान वाला लुक लेके आए, पूरा ऊपर से नीचे वही जवान, वही ओपन शर्ट, लाल शर्ट, चश्मा, बाल, सब वही है। अच्छा, मैं गानों की बात करता हूँ। ऑलरेडी बहुत से गाने सुपर हिट है, चाहे वो चलिया हो, चाहे वो रमैया वस्ता भैया, नॉट रमैया वस्ता भैया हो। क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है और चीजों को लेके इस फिल्म से?
फिल्म देखो, बहुत प्यारी फिल्म है और होप बहुत बड़ा बन चुका है फिल्म को लेके, और फैन तो दीवाने इस टाइम, बस पूरी मूवी उनको देख जाए और बहुत मजा आने वाला है। और रही बात गानों की, जो गाना चलिया जो गाना है वो गाना बेस्ट है।
कोई स्टेप वेप करके दिखा सकते हैं क्या?
वही वाला जो उनका फेमस
करके दिखाइए। Well, this is what we talk about when we talk about SRK, Shah Rukh Khan or the King Khan. Fans lining up, decked up all around over here. In fact, there are also a lot of people who are also dressed in the t-shirts of Shah Rukh Khan. I'll walk you through. This entire place is filled with fans to watch the very first show. Though there is, we know that there are many restrictions which have been imposed over here. In fact, you can see these fans wearing Jawan t-shirts. The kind of you can see the fever they have. भाई साहब एक बात बताइए, कितनी एक्साइटमेंट है? कुछ ही मिनट रह गए हैं पिक्चर के रिलीज में।
बहुत ज्यादा, इतनी है, बहुत ज्यादा, बहुत ज्यादा। जब से ट्रेलर आ गया पागल हुए फिर रहे थे हम, कब 7 तारीख आए, कब 7 तारीख आए और हम जाके चीखे चिल्लाए।
वेल, अच्छा आप भी बताइए, आपने तो स्पेसिफिक सबने शाहरुख खान जवान की टी शर्टें पहन रखी है, पहली बार ऐसा कर रहे हैं? हमेशा ऐसे करते हैं?
हमेशा ऐसा करते हैं। पठान आई थी हमने तब भी ऐसी करा था, जब पठान मूवी आई थी हमने तब भी ऐसी करा था।
अच्छा, बहुत सारे ये लोग बात करते हैं कि शाहरुख खान एक रीजन है इंडस्ट्री के रिवाइवल का, कोविड के बाद जब लोगों ने सिनेमा घरों में जाना छोड़ दिया था। कितनी सच्चाई लगती है इस बात में?
100% सच्चाई, पूरी 100% जी। आपको ही पता है, वो तो बिल्कुल ब्लॉक हो गया था, बाइकआउट चल रहा था, उसके बाद तो आपको ही पता है सबसे ज्यादा।
The kind of craze over here. In fact, you can see whole nagaras also playing, people dancing. This is a festival for them. This is something which they wait for their mega star to come up with the movie, and with the numbers, with the kind of bookings we see of this movie Jawan. This already shows how Shah Rukh Khan has proven his mettle once again. In fact, you can see how crackers are also being burst over here. So you can just imagine the sort of environment which has been created over here. Fans are elated. They are already anticipating that it will cross, this very film will cross the 100 CR mark today itself on the very first day. With advance bookings, we already know that how things are panning out. For this very film, and fans being decked up like this, in fact, and also bursting crackers. They are actually celebrating in the best possible manner to welcome their mega star Shah Rukh Khan. Now, not only in Delhi, we have seen the similar sort of fever in a lot of states. In fact, across the country, we have seen how this very film or the past films of SRK had done really well because of SRK's fans. You can see over here how crackers are being burst, how the fans are celebrating. The mood is electrifying over here, and in fact they are all set to welcome their mega star Shah Rukh Khan. King Khan is coming back to the big screen, and in fact this time with Jawan, and I'm coming to you from the national capital where the fever is on. You can see the very first show is about to begin, and in fact you can see how the fans are making a beeline over here to watch Shah Rukh Khan's mega blockbuster. What they are saying, it is already a blockbuster. You can see a slew of fans already lining up over here. You can see people in t-shirts. In fact, there are dhol, nagaras present all around. In fact, the atmosphere is electrifying over here. In fact, King Khan has already proven his mettle when it comes to the advance booking. Over 1 million tickets sold just in the pre-bookings, and in fact also the amount of tickets which have been sold is over 37 crores. So already it is giving a big start to Shah Rukh Khan's mega movie, and in fact one of the most anticipated movies, Jawan. In fact, you can see the excitement amongst the fan over here, how they are excited and how they are all ready to welcome King Khan once again back on the mega, on the big screen. In fact, जावेद जी, आपकी लेगेसी मैं जानता हूं, आप कितने बड़े शाहरुख खान के फैन हैं ये भी मैं जानता हूं. क्या है आज का प्रोग्राम पूरा आपका?
देखिए जवान मूवी को लेके जो क्रेज बना है, मतलब अब तो किसी ने बॉयकॉट भी नहीं किया। अब शाहरुख खान की जो असली पावर है बिना बॉयकॉट गैंग के, मतलब पूरी दुनिया में इस टाइम जवान को लेके क्रेज है। मतलब दो ही चीजों की बात हो रही है, या तो G20 की बात हो रही है, जवान मूवी की बात हो रही है। तो इससे बड़ी बात शाहरुख के फैंस के लिए हो नहीं सकती। और जो इसकी एडवांस बुकिंग का जो माहौल बना, उसने भी रिकॉर्ड सारे तोड़।
United States looks at India with a lot of respect in terms of what India has done economically, having been the 5th largest economy, soon to be the 3rd largest economy. Also, Prime Minister Modi ji has laid out an outstanding vision. His vision about 2047, making India a developed country.
In India and in the UK is that the exporters, the businesses are not always aware of what the opportunities are going to be. So even before the FTA, after, during, we are going to be bringing trade missions, and we hope that the same will happen on the opposite side, so that people can get familiar with India, learn to understand what the opportunities are and how they can make the most of them.
EU and India are strategic partners, and we are developing this partnership across different range of areas, including in trade. And we relaunched our negotiations on free trade agreement, but we also launched negotiations on investment protection agreement and on protection of geographical indications.
We have been very supportive of Indians' priorities in the agenda for the G20, along with when the working groups took place, when the ministerial meetings took place with the different groups of the agenda, and of course we will plan to be very supportive of the G20 presidency of India.
We're in the final lap before the G20 Summit, India hosting the biggest ever event held in this country. It's the big ticket event of India's G20 presidency. Massive arrangements have been made to host the world's most powerful world leaders with their entourages are soon going to be coming in. They're all going to start trickling in from tomorrow. The summit venues to security, from booking top hotels to finalizing a special menu. The host country, India, has made elaborate arrangements, and why not? We here in India are hoping to host not only the world's most powerful but also be the voice of the global south, as the Prime Minister says, to ensure that we are the bridge between the two economies, between the developed world and the developing world. India hopes to play that pivotal role. And as we gear up for the big summit on the 9th and 10th, NSG's full spectrum expertise has been deployed to deal with contingencies and potential threats during that event. CNN News 18's Yash Goyal gets us this exclusive report.
NSG is at the forefront when we talk about security arrangements here in the national capital as G20 comes near. In fact, what we are bringing to you right now is one of the elite operations by the NSG, and in fact you can see this very chopper of the National Security Guard coming from the base. In fact, in just 10 minutes, in case of any situation arises over here, what you are seeing on your screens right now is the other NSG commandos slithering down from the chopper, and in fact these
one of the teams which is making a formation to actually carry out many of the operations. The special team is led by the officer who led all the high-risk operations by personal example in the true spirit of the National Security Guard. You can see these officers coming down one by one and in fact then taking their tactical positions. In fact, these teams are equipped to carry out anti-terror operations, anti-sabotage operations, anti-drone operations and also anti-biological weapons.
Once the NSG commandos slither down from the chopper, now what is happening is now the senior officials, the major general officials are actually leading the charge of these teams, and in fact now they are taking these teams to their tactical positions, and in fact they are asking them to make a formation, and you can just see now how this entire operation is being carried out. In fact, a radio message will be given to these officers. This is the elite team of the NSG who are actually leaving no stone unturned when it comes to the security amid this very G20 summit, and now teams will be going to that very area. In fact, that will be the operational area for the NSG, and in fact this is how they go inside once they get a command. The commandos of the NSG actually coming down this very from the rooftop to the operational area. This is how this entire area is being cordoned by the NSG officials, NSG commandos who are present here. These are all senior, this is the elite force we are talking about, and in fact they are all highly equipped with all sorts of operation, be it anti-terrorist, be it anti-sabotage, be it anti-drone, be it anti-biochemical. They are all equipped with each and everything, and in fact this is what is happening. In fact, I'll also take you to this very restaurant because this is a demonstration which is being done, and in fact once this entire area, this is one of these areas which was actually kept as hostile, or one of those areas which was kept as the affected areas, if we can say. And in fact, let's show you how these officers will make an advance to these areas. This is a very interesting visual coming in to your screens. In fact, you can see how these officers will come pillar to post and in fact check each and every point where there could be a possible threat of any sort.
The Delhi, national capital of India, is going to be a complete fortress over the next 3 days, beginning tomorrow. Several restrictions and curbs are in the place. Security cover has been expanded for the G20 Summit. But the big question is what happens in case there is a terror attack, in case enemies of the country and of any of our allies who are here decides to move against us. Take a look at this report. My colleague Arunima tells us exactly how prepared India is.
Even though there will be multiple layers of security, multi-agencies have already carried out their ASL and they know what is to be done if there is an exigency. But how do you really protect the VIP? Here is a situation where the VIP is seeing a threat. The carcade has been stopped while the driver, most of them from SPG and NSG, they know what route to take to escape with the VIP. But in case they are stuck at any one point, what do? These personnel are seeing, showcasing to you when an attack happens, if an attack happens. This is the shield, metal shield worth at least 4 to 5 kilograms, which they are holding to ensure no bullet crosses. There are small arms on this side with which they are protected. There are 2 personnel inside the vehicle and there are personnel on the other side as well. So they have completely घेरा out the VIP's vehicle to ensure that not one person or one bullet crosses them. And then once this is done, once this is completely घेरा out, the driver, like I said, is specifically trained. The driver knows which is the route to take, which exigency route, emergency route to take. So the next thing that they would do is escape with the vehicle to ensure that the VIP is taken to safety. So that will be the next thing to do, to take the vehicle away and ensure that the VIP is immediately taken away so that the protection the protectee is taken away from the spot where the attack has happened to a safe zone.
World leaders will start trickling into the country, into the national capital here in Delhi from tomorrow. Let's take a look at where exactly they're all going to be put up. There are different 5-star or 7-star hotels here in Delhi. all of which are out of bounds. Areas around central Delhi are going to be completely off limits beginning tomorrow until the evening of Sunday on 10th. Let's take a look at who's staying where. President Joe Biden of the United States is staying at ITC Moria. We have the Chinese Premier who's coming instead of the Chinese President Xi Jinping. Li Qiang is going to be staying at the Taj Palace in the national capital here. Then we have Rishi Sunak, the UK Prime Minister, who lands tomorrow afternoon. He's going to be put up in the Shangri-La Hotel in the national capital. Emmanuel Macron, the French President, is going to be at the Claridge's. All of these are 5-star and upwards. Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, is going to be at the Lalit Hotel. All of these dignitaries are going to be put up at these hotels along with their entourage. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan staying at the Oberoi Hotel. We do have more dignitaries that are pouring in. The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, is going to be at the Leela Hotel in Gurugram, not in the national capital though, in the national capital region though. Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia, is going to be put up at the Imperial Hotel in Delhi. These are the hotels that are going to be completely off limits as far as any visitors are concerned. The security is going to be tighter than usual. And ahead of that summit, my colleague Siddhant travelled to Taj Palace. He tracked the preparations there which are underway to host these dignitaries. Take a look at what awaits them.
We have come to this hotel called Taj Palace in New Delhi. This hotel is 40 years old, and this hotel is perhaps the only trusted name when it comes to diplomacy, when it comes to foreign policy. We'll speak to Seth Saab. Seth Saab is the general manager, the boss of the hotel. Sir, how excited you guys are. And since Prime Minister has declared it as a Jan Bhagidari wala G20, sir, could you please explain this entire setup? Because we've been told that these are the shawls which have been procured from the artisans. Please elaborate.
So these are ikat stalls typically done by the local artisans of various states. And this is exactly what we are using to welcome our delegates. So, you know, it's not something big that they have to carry back, but it remains with them. You know, the thali that we have got is, and this is again, our national bird is peacock. The whole hotel in this lobby is designed on the peacock theme. And that's what we are going to be communicating back to our visiting dignitaries, that what is our national bird and how the theme works. And, you know, where we are standing, the whole steps which are there is like this peacock has spread its wings, and that's the whole feel that it gives. So we're going to be playing on that.
This Grand Maharaja dining table is all set to welcome heads of state on 8th, 9th and 10th of September. Right now I am at Taj Palace in New Delhi. Joining me now is Chef Mushtaq. So thank you so much for speaking to us. If you could elaborate for our viewers that what all is required, and perhaps what is the responsibility on your shoulder, on your team's shoulders?
Actually, we have been catering to heads of state from past 40 years in Taj Palace Hotel. So we have been interacting with the guests. We have been getting the dietary preferences with them. Then based on those things, we just cater the menu, and keeping in mind the international diplomats which we are catering, like we do something which is innovative also and creative also. So in that sense, we have created so many things, as we have been celebrating International Millet of the Year. So we have introduced millet in our menu, and we have created the dishes as per the requirement and creativity. So like we have got Indian thali which is there. It has got all the ingredients with the colorful balance of the dishes. Then we have got millet introduced in this, like we have got millet ki kheer, there is bajre ki kheer, then we have got millet ki roti. Apart from that, we have got some chalis over here which have got millet ingredients in it, like we have got ragi, paniyaram. Then we have got kodu laddu. So these are the things.
We are inside Garden Presidential Suite of Taj Palace Hotel. Now these rooms are being prepared. So in total, this hotel has 403 rooms, and we've been told that for 3 days all rooms are going to be booked. The hotel is already booked by various countries, many dignitaries and the other organizations which are participating in G20 Leaders Summit. So let me give a sense to viewers how this executive premium and perhaps one of the expensive suites across the country, how it looks like. Given the situation in Delhi, since advanced teams have also started arriving before the arrival of the leaders, lot of diplomatic movements are taking place, and this is perhaps the reason that this entire hotel is already booked. And for 8th, 9th and 10th, it has already been booked by many countries. The heads of state are going to stay here. Then the other organizations which are participating in G20 Leaders Summit. With video journalist Ramashankar, Siddhant Mishra in New Delhi for CNN News 18.
Delhi is going to be the diplomatic hub of the world for the next 3 days. India is waiting to host the world leaders and foreign dignitaries here. CNN News 18 is going to be your destination for all things G20. We are slipping into a quick break here on this edition, but we'll be back with more. Don't go anywhere.
अभी से लोग उम्मीद लगा रहे हैं कि पहले दिन का बिजनेस जो है वो 60 करोड़ का होगा, 70 करोड़ का होगा, मतलब 50 क्रॉस लोग अब बातें कर रहे हैं। जब हम पठान की बात कर रहे थे हम ये बोलते थे कि मतलब 50 करोड़ का बिजनेस तो करेगी, लेकिन आज वक्त चेंज हो चुका है। आज लोग कह रहे हैं कि 70 करोड़ कमाएगी, एक दिन में 80 करोड़ कमाएगी, लेकिन रिकॉर्ड ऑलरेडी बन चुका है।
क्या लगता है 100 करोड़ एक या 2 दिन में पार?
सर उम्मीद तो एक आज ही पार करते हैं, मतलब और बहुत बड़ा सेलिब्रेशन करेंगे, क्योंकि एक रिकॉर्ड होगा। एक दिन में 100 करोड़ आज तक किसी ने कमाया नहीं हो, तो अगली कोई चैलेंज भी होगा किसी मूवी के लिए तो उसको बहुत टाइम जाएगा।
अच्छा, G20 आप जैसे फैंस के लिए एक बड़ा चैलेंज रह रहा है, आप लोग उतना सेलिब्रेट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, क्या किसी तरह की कमी आई है आपके जोश में इसको लेकर?
नहीं, जोश में कमी नहीं है, लेकिन जो अरेंजमेंट है, जो सिस्टम है, जैसे हम इस बार बैंड बाजा कुछ नहीं कर पाए या हम म्यूजिकल प्रोग्राम करते थे वो सब नहीं कर पाए, क्योंकि हमें अपना देश की सेफ्टी को भी देखना है। जो एक G20 को लेकर जो माहौल बना हुआ है, हम चाहते नहीं है कि हमसे कोई उल्लंघन हो उस चीज को लेकर।
मेरे को पता नहीं क्यों याद आ रहा है कि आप वही हैं जिन्होंने पठान वाला लुक लिया था। अब आप जवान वाला लुक लेके आए, पूरा ऊपर से नीचे वही जवान, वही ओपन शर्ट, लाल शर्ट, चश्मा, बाल सब वही है। अच्छा, मैं गानों की बात करता हूँ। ऑलरेडी बहुत से गाने सुपर हिट है, चाहे वो चलिया हो, चाहे वो रमैया वस्ता भैया, नॉट रमैया वस्ता भैया हो। क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है और चीजों को लेकर इस फिल्म से?
फिल्म देखो, बहुत प्यारी फिल्म है और होप बहुत बड़ा बन चुका है फिल्म को लेके, और फैन तो दीवाने इस टाइम। बस पूरी मूवी उनको देख जाए और बहुत मजा आने वाला है। और रही बात गानों की, जो गाना चलिया जो गाना है वो गाना बेस्ट है।
कोई स्टेप वेप करके दिखा सकते हैं क्या?
वही वाला जो उनका फेमस
करके दिखाइए। Well, this is what we talk about when we talk about SRK, Shah Rukh Khan or the King Khan. Fans lining up, decked up all around over here. In fact, there are also a lot of people who are also dressed in the t-shirts of Shah Rukh Khan. I'll walk you through. This entire place is filled with fans to watch the very first show. Though there is, we know that there are many restrictions which have been imposed over here. In fact, you can see these fans wearing Jawan t-shirts. The kind of you can see the fever they have. भाई साहब, एक बात बताइए, कितनी एक्साइटमेंट है? कुछ ही मिनट रह गए हैं पिक्चर के रिलीज में।
बहुत ज्यादा, इतनी है, बहुत ज्यादा, बहुत ज्यादा। जब से ट्रेलर आ गया पागल हुए फिर रहे थे हम, कब 7 तारीख आए, कब 7 तारीख आए और हम जाके चीखे चिल्लाए।
वेल, अच्छा आप भी बताइए, आपने तो स्पेसिफिक सबने शाहरुख खान जवान की टी शर्टें पहन रखी है, पहली बार ऐसा कर रहे हैं? हमेशा ऐसे करते हैं?
हमेशा ऐसा करते हैं।
पठान आई थी हमने तब भी ऐसी करा था, जब पठान मूवी आई थी हमने तब भी ऐसी करा था।
अच्छा, बहुत सारे ये लोग बात करते हैं कि शाहरुख खान एक रीजन है इंडस्ट्री के रिवाइवल का, कोविड के बाद जब लोगों ने सिनेमा घरों में जाना छोड़ दिया था। कितनी सच्चाई लगती है इस बात में?
100% सच्चाई, पूरी 100% जी। आपको ही पता है, वो तो बिल्कुल ब्लॉक हो गया था, बाइकआउट चल रहा था, उसके बाद तो आपको ही पता है सबसे ज्यादा।
The kind of craze over here. In fact, you can see whole nagaras also playing, people dancing. This is a festival for them. This is something which they wait for their mega star to come up with the movie, and with the numbers, with the kind of bookings we see of this movie
Jawan. This already shows how Shah Rukh Khan has proven his mettle once again. In fact, you can see how crackers are also being burst over here. So you can just imagine the sort of environment which has been created over here. Fans are elated. They are already anticipating that it will cross this very film, will cross the 100 CR mark today itself on the very first day. With advance bookings, we already know that how things are panning out. For this very film, and fans being decked up like this, in fact, and also bursting crackers. They are actually celebrating in the best possible manner to welcome their mega star Shah Rukh Khan. Now, not only in Delhi, we have seen the similar sort of fever in a lot of states. In fact, across the country, we have seen how this very film or the past films of SRK had done really well because of SRK's fans. You can see over here how crackers are being burst, how the fans are celebrating. The mood is electrifying over here, and in fact they are all set to welcome their mega star Shah Rukh Khan. King Khan is coming back to the big screen, and in fact this time with Jawan, and I'm coming to you from the national capital where the fever is on. You can see the very first show is about to begin, and in fact you can see how the fans are making a beeline over here to watch Shah Rukh Khan's mega blockbuster. What they are saying, it is already a blockbuster. You can see a slew of fans already lining up over here. You can see people in t-shirts. In fact, there are dhol, nagadas present all around. In fact, the atmosphere is electrifying over here. In fact, King Khan has already proven his mettle when it comes to the advance booking. Over 1 million tickets sold just in the pre-bookings, and in fact also the amount of tickets which have been sold is over 37 crores. So already it is giving a big start to Shah Rukh Khan's mega movie, and in fact one of the most anticipated movies, Jawan. In fact, you can see the excitement amongst the fan over here, how they are excited and how they are all ready to welcome King Khan once again back on the mega, on the big screen. In fact, जावेद जी, आपकी लेगेसी मैं जानता हूं, आप कितने बड़े शाहरुख खान के फैन हैं ये भी मैं जानता हूं. क्या है आज का प्रोग्राम पूरा आपका?
देखिए, जवान मूवी को लेके जो क्रेज बना है, मतलब अब तो किसी ने बॉयकॉट भी नहीं किया. अब शाहरुख खान की जो असली पावर है बिना बॉयकॉट गैंग के, मतलब पूरी दुनिया में इस टाइम जवान को लेके क्रेज है. मतलब दो ही चीजों की बात हो रही है, तो G20 की बात हो रही है, जवान मूवी की बात हो रही है. तो इससे बड़ी बात शाहरुख के फैंस के लिए हो नहीं सकती. और जो इसकी एडवांस बुकिंग का जो माहौल बना, उसने भी रिकॉर्ड सारे तोड़ दिए हैं. मतलब अभी से लोग उम्मीद लगा रहे हैं कि पहले दिन का बिजनेस जो है वो 60 करोड़ का होगा, 70 करोड़ का होगा. मतलब 50 क्रॉस लोग अब बातें कर रहे हैं. जब हम पठान की बात कर रहे थे हम ये बोलते थे कि मतलब 50 करोड़ का बिजनेस तो करेगी, लेकिन आज वक्त चेंज हो चुका है. आज लोग कह रहे हैं कि 70 करोड़ कमाएगी, एक दिन में 80 करोड़ कमाएगी, लेकिन रिकॉर्ड ऑलरेडी बन चुका है.
क्या लगता है 100 करोड़ एक या 2 दिन में पार?
सर उम्मीद तो एक आज ही पार करते हैं. मतलब और बहुत बड़ा सेलिब्रेशन करेंगे, क्योंकि एक रिकॉर्ड होगा. एक दिन में 100 करोड़ आज तक किसी ने कमाया नहीं हो, तो अगली कोई चैलेंज भी होगा किसी मूवी के लिए तो उसको बहुत टाइम जाएगा.
अच्छा, G20 आप जैसे फैंस के लिए एक बड़ा चैलेंज रह रहा है, आप लोग उतना सेलिब्रेट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. क्या किसी तरह की कमी आई है आपके जोश में इसको लेकर?
नहीं, जोश में कमी नहीं है, लेकिन जो अरेंजमेंट है, जो सिस्टम है, जैसे हम इस बार बैंड बाजा कुछ नहीं कर पाए या हम म्यूजिकल प्रोग्राम करते थे, वो सब नहीं कर पाए क्योंकि हमें
Welcome back. You're watching CNN News 18. This is our special broadcast for the G20 Summit that India is hosting. Delhi is going to be a fortress for the next 3 days. A lot of things are going to be shut. A lot of restrictions are in place. Let's cut across to what exactly that is and how that changes your life if you are a resident of the national capital. Let's take a look at what's shut and what's not. Schools are going to be shut, declared holidays for all schools in Delhi from tomorrow. Saturday, Sunday, of course, are holidays. But milk booths are going to be open, so it's not that their essentials are off limits. Offices, government offices are also going to be shut. There's an order that's come to the fore from the Delhi government. Grocery stores are going to be open across the national capital. There is going to be no issue as far as access to essential goods is concerned. Banks are going to be shut as well. So tomorrow too, you will not be able to visit any bank, but ATMs are going to be open all through the weekend. So that's not an issue. Shops in the New Delhi district are going to be shut. This is the NDMC area. They are going to be shut for the next 3 days. Hospitals, of course, are going to remain open irrespective of the area in Delhi and the national capital region. What is going to be shut is liquor stores as far as the New Delhi district is concerned. Airports, railway stations are going to be open. There are diversions that have been made for all those who want to travel to the airport or the railway stations for the next 3 days. Food delivery in New Delhi district is going to be shut for the next 3 days. Cloud kitchens are going to be shut as far as that particular area is concerned. Theatres outside NDMC, which is the New Delhi district, is going to be, they are going to be open. Those inside the New Delhi district, they are not going to be. Cloud kitchens, like I said, in the New Delhi district are going to be shut for the next 72 hours. Malls outside of the NDMC are going to be open though. So these are the restrictions that are in place as far as the next 72 hours go, beginning tomorrow morning until the end of Sunday. Now, most of these famous markets such as Janpat and Connaught Place will be closed for the next 3 days. But Sarojini Nagar will be one of the markets that will be open for the delegates to go there and take a look and feel of how exactly markets in the national capital, markets in India work. CNN News 18 went on ground to check the preparation. Take a look.
India is ready to welcome the delegates, and so are the markets in the national capital. This is one of the most famous markets and one of the highly crowded markets out here in the national capital, and this time around as well. Due to security concerns, most of the famous markets out here in the national capital are going to remain closed, such as the Janpat market or the Connaught Place market. But yes, the Sarojini Nagar market is one of the few markets that will remain open during the G20 Summit. To talk more on this and to speak more on this, I'm being joined by the President of Sarojini Nagar Mini Market Association. सर, क्या तैयारियां हैं G20 को लेकर के? इस बार बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी है आप लोगों के लिए, G20 के डेलीगेट्स यहाँ आने वाले हैं.
सर, हमें जब से पता चला है हमारी मार्केट खुली हुई है, हम लोगों को बहुत खुशी है, सच पूछे तो. और हमारे लिए तो वाकई ये एक बहुत बड़ा इवेंट है. दिल्ली के अंदर G20 हो रहा हैगा, इससे बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी हम लोगों को नहीं मिल सकती हैगी. हम लोगों ने परसों से तैयारी कर दी हैगी, होल्डिंग्स पूरी मार्केट में लगाए हैंगे. 50% डिस्काउंट दिया जाएगा अगर डेलीगेट्स यहाँ पे हमारे यहाँ आते हैं. उसके साथ साथ वो लोग जो भी आएंगे उनको हम लोग फ्लावर्स की माला भी पहनाएंगे, चंदन का तिलक भी लगाएंगे, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ अतिथि देवो भव, भगवान का रूप मानते हैं. साफ सफाई का इंतजाम बिल्कुल करेंगे. अभी जो थोड़ी बहुत दुकानों के बाहर ये सामान लगा हुआ है 8, 9, 10 को, वो भी हम लोग अंदर जाएंगे, क्योंकि ये हमारी इज्जत ही नहीं, हमारी मार्केट की भी बात है. और आने वाले डेलीगेट्स को ये लगे कि भाई मार्केट बहुत अच्छी है, ऐसा मैसेज देंगे और ऐसी अच्छी मार्केट बनाएंगे कि लोग वाह करेंगे.
Much like the Indian government, the Indian markets are also ready to welcome the delegates who would be joining here to enjoy or to take part in the upcoming G20 Summit. Because this is one of the main markets that will remain open during the time period of the G20 Summit. Heavy security deployment have been given out over here. Not only the members of Delhi Police, personals of Delhi Police, but yes, the personals of CRPF have also been deployed over here. To talk more on this and to know more, I am being joined by the President of Sarojini Nagar Market Association, ओमदत्त शर्मा. सर, पहली बात तो बहुत बड़ा मौका है आपके लिए. क्या क्या तैयारियां की हैं इस बार और किस तरह से वेलकम किया जाएगा डेलीगेट्स को?
ये हम भारतीय वासियों के लिए बड़े गौरव की बात है. दिल्ली की शान है. G20 आने वाले मेहमानों को वो हमारी यादगारें लेके जाएं. पूरा डिस्काउंट है, पूरी सुरक्षा है, चारों तरफ 206 सीसी कैमरे हैं, हर जाने वाले के ऊपर निगाह है. सुरक्षा में सारी एजेंसियां सहयोग कर रही हैं, हम भी कंधे से कंधा मिला के सहयोग कर रहे हैं. हम भी मेहमानों का स्वागत कर रहे हैं. सबके लिए मंगलमय रहेगा G20.
जी, अच्छा, फॉरेन डेलीगेट्स तो आएंगे यहाँ पे, लेकिन जो लोकल लोग हैं जो आना चाहते हैं, दिल्ली के निवासी जो आना चाहते हैं, उनके लिए मार्केट्स खुले रहेंगे या उनके लिए कैसे, क्या मैसेज है उनके लिए?
बिल्कुल खुले रहेंगे. आइए, आधार कार्ड अपना पास रखिए, बिना चेक करे कोई अंदर नहीं आएगा. अपना जो आईडी है वो अपने पास जरूर रखिए, क्योंकि प्रशासन पूछताछ कर सकता है, एजेंसियां पूछताछ कर सकती हैं, क्योंकि सुरक्षा में हम जरा भी कोई ढील नहीं देना चाहते.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. So as you heard there that even as the delegates would come out here to do their shoppings and they would be getting such discounts, as it has been mentioned over here that approximately 50%, up to 50% discounts would be given to each and every delegate. And not only that, but yes, the traders are also ready to welcome them with folded hands and garlands as well. This time around, as the G20 Summit will be underway, Sarojini Nagar market will be one of the few markets that will be open for general public as well. And as you heard by the President of the Sarojini Nagar Market Association very, very clearly, that any person or a citizen of the national capital or India who wants to come out here must carry a valid identity proof, post which their attendance. They would be allowed to go inside and do shopping, because security concern is one of the biggest concerns, and regarding that, no one, neither the Delhi police or nor the market associations, wants to leave any stone unturned. So this is the kind of arrangements that have already been made. It is going to be very, very interesting to see as to how things turn out on the 8th, 9th and 10th of September, when finally the delegates would come out here in the national capital and would experience the soft power of India. With video journalist Pramod Kumar, this is Anshul Singh for CNN News 18.
Good evening and a warm welcome. I'm Griha Atul and you're watching Viewpoint. From Tamil Nadu Minister Udhyanidhi Stalin, in Karnataka Minister Priyank Kharge being booked in Uttar Pradesh for allegedly outraging religious feelings in the wake of Sanatan Dharma remark, to a counter-complaint filed in Tamil Nadu against BJP's IT cell chief Amit Malviya for allegedly triggering tension and inciting violence against Udhayanidhi, and also against religious leader